Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Oath Esports. My name is Merp. I'm joined by Sky, and we are going to be bringing you some awesome games tonight as we're going to be looking at some awesome Overwatch. Our first match, Glitch versus Riff, is coming right up. We're going to Lijiang Tower first. How are you doing today, Sky?
I'm doing pretty good. I was looking forward to these matches all throughout the day. I was ready to see some good Overwatch games, and I'm excited to see what these teams have in for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I cannot wait. I missed last week. Unfortunately, I took a trip to the Himalayas. It was a eye-opening experience, and I don't plan to return. So
Oh,
I'll be here for the rest of the season, and it'll be a good time. Several names I do recognize here on both teams, though. Not a whole lot of new faces, though. I do not recognize the name Nyx. I believe they're probably new, but it seems like a pretty solid bunch of veterans coming into this season. As I understand, it's your first season with Oath, and I'm happy to see you here. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're getting the experience. We're all about oneness and friendliness and openness here in Oath, and just getting to root each other on as we continue throughout the season. You'll see these players grow immensely as we continue going through because their coaches are freaking awesome, and I cannot wait to see that growth as well.
yeah, I've heard nothing about it but good things about the coaches here, and I was told about how some of the players started, didn't think they could do it, put in a role they weren't comfortable with, but the coaches were able to get them to move amazingly quick up on the ranks and cooperate with their teams, and really nice to see that.
Yeah, and like I said, it will be something we see continue to increase as the season goes on. There's a few famous stories, right? You have uh, a veteran player or ex-player voltages, climb to from silver to uh, platinum over the span of a single season. You've got Sleepy Tiger, who had never even touched a mouse in for gaming purposes in a season before Oath, and then became one of the best tank players to ever come out of Oath. There's a lot of really good names here, and even in this list, I recognize several. Oh, Sleepy is actually in Glitch this season, so we'll get to see more of that. That'll be super awesome. Dylan as well. Lots of really old names. I'm so happy to see back in Oath. Thank you guys. Woo! Sorry. But yeah, when you're heading into Lijiang Tower, what are we expecting to see here? There's been a lot of note patches, a lot of changes, sort of, in recent. Are we expecting anything super out of the ordinary for Lijiang?
I'm not thinking so. I'm thinking when people think of a control point, Lijiang Tower is probably one of the first maps that does come to mind. I think it's going to be pretty standard here. Zarya did get those recent buffs in the patch notes, so I wouldn't be surprised if you see a little bit of Zarya today, which is always a fun thing to see.
Yeah, Zarya is not somebody I've seen really a mainstay play for a long time. Granted, um, sort of had the dark age the last couple months, but we're back in full swing with the recent changes that have happened, and I'm quite excited to see what comes out of it. If we take a look at these team compositions, what do you notice seems to be the sort of strategies these teams are going for?
I feel like Dive has made a pretty big resurgence recently because of the buffs that Monkey did get in the recent notes. So we do see the Monkey coming out, and I think he's been in a really solid place in the game where for a long time he'd kind of been on one of those tanks that you don't see too often. A lot of people thought he was one of the weaker ones out there.
Yeah, it looks like Dive seems to be the go-to strategy, but we have two completely different tastes on how to run that. Bad YT and Dylan teaming up with the Pharmacy combo. The new Pharah, which I have yet to see in action, does no longer get jet fuel unless they're on the ground, I believe. So that'll be very interesting. Jubilee is able to pick them off, though, as they get a little bit too close. And Zane does a great job of pressuring out Dylan in the back line. That's 2 kills down now for the side of Riff, as they're going to be finding the first team fight win.
Yeah, really quick team fight win. Monkey does do pretty good against the Diva. He's able to hit through that defensive matrix. So it is a little bit hard for Diva to keep her health up as much when going against that Winston.
Yeah, absolutely. It is going to be very interesting. That Winston bubble can do a great job of shutting down the Pharah as well, keeping the poke damage to a minimum. Nick's trying to put in some gimmick here as it looks like the okay, very nice clips actually saving the backline. It looks like they're keeping Nick's alive, keeping them in action as Jula continues just hunting them down. The monkey is ready for some damage. Nice pulse on is going to be connecting Quest as the baby Diva is going to be the only one left standing as Dylan gets on as well from Zanjamin. This very nice dive focus here from Team on Blue. 45% counting here as well as they even continue making control of the
Yeah, I mean, this Tracer's been doing a really good job. You already saw her use the pulse bomb to DMAC Diva, and she's already almost getting up to another one, doing a really great job of keeping that momentum going and not letting the pressure go down.
Yeah, and once again, another pick on Dylan and Quest. They've just been continuously being found on the side of for Glitch. Riff doing a great job at finding him. I apologize. Holy cow. Glitch doing a great job of finding Rift players as they're going to be sitting back to the spawn room. 75% and counting now. A couple ultimates online as we're going to be seeing those play in here in this next fight.
Yeah, and they do make the switch to the Junkrat to try to break down that Winston bubble really quickly, but Zanjamin just going in there and picking him off again.
And Sleepy's able to pick up Dylan. Two veteran players going to be matching each other here on the Jericho, but Sleepy does have a bit more history, I believe, in that sort of support role, and it's clearly showing as they get another kill. Same with the pulse bomb, using it to keep the rest of Rift players away. Overtime is ticking down, and that is going to be point 1 going to Glitch.
Yeah, not so many team fights there coming out from Riff on that point, but, you know, did have a little bit of a rough start where they immediately lost the ult advantage, but they did make good changes. I like the changes they made, switching to the Junkrat, trying to do the bubble. So they were making the counter picks, trying to figure out strategy to go against that Winston here. And, you know, now that they've figured that out, I think the momentum could definitely switch on the second point.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see this if Glitch maintains this sort of monkey style dive here on the second point of Lijiang. It's not really one that's necessarily built for this composition. You definitely are more crammed in and don't have a lot of room to move. As we see Quest going over to that Elisa and Bad YT going over the Reaper, I can imagine this is definitely going to be a counter pick.
Yeah, I mean, Reaper's just gonna shred Monkey's health down really quickly. You got the Arisa, who does a lot of damage, able to use that Javelin to keep people at bay. I think this one will see have Jubals have to switch off that Monkey, but we'll see how he handles it.
Jubals doing a great job so far staying alive and maintaining the line of sight for their support. Staying alive quite well, even through Bad YT and the rest of DPS's pressure. Now in the backline, forcing out that immortality field. Zanjamin popping it eventually for Dylan. And they will eventually find it as well. The coordinated dive is crazy. Zane has gone absolutely nuts, finding 3. The Tracer cannot be stopped. And while we do have a disconnect, that absolutely nasty first fight from Glitch.
Yeah, I mean, seeing the Tracer just able to pick up 3 in rapid succession like that, I mean, not something you like to see if you're on the side of Rift there. You don't. I mean, Tracer can be really scary now. She did get that slight health buff. You know, able to zip around the map, get those health packs. She can be really annoying to take down, especially if you don't have one of those characters who can just dish out one shot, like Hanzo, for example.
Yeah. Hanzo can't even headshot one shot, I don't think, anymore either, considering his slight damage nerfs. So Tracer is very difficult to shut down. And even with the burst damage that's being attempted here from Riff, Zane, he's just all over the place. He can't be stopped. The man is like the Flash. I mean, I guess Tracer is as close to the Flash as you can get, but I mean, in all retrospect, this is 3 kills coming out here. Starting off with Dylan, eliminating the support line, killing Bad YT and Nyx. Now the only one remaining is going to be Quest on the point, who's down to a quarter HP. Glitch is going to be cleaning this up quite nicely and will be taking the first fight.
Yeah, I mean, and Tracer's or Monkey's doing a really good job of positioning those bubbles, allowing Tracer to zip in that bubble, zip out, not have to use her recall as much, taking advantage of that double dive, so not having to use her as much of her abilities as much, keeping them at bay to where she is able to use them for later. And you know, that double dive comp with a dive tank and Tracer can be really deadly because you got this big bulky tank in your face throwing you around, and then you got Tracer there dealing out the heavy damage, and it can be really hard to focus on one of them and to figure out which one you're going to get. And we'll have to see
Yeah.
if it does does like make a switch to that Hanzo because I believe he does. I believe he does 240 now, so not quite enough to kill the people he used to, like Soldier, Kiriko can't one shot those, but the squishy ones like Tracer, Widow, I'm pretty sure he can still one shot. So we'll have to see if they try to opt for that, try to just do anything they can to shut Zane down here.
Yeah, I mean, definitely could be something that we see. I believe you're actually correct. I forgot how squishy. Not quite the 250 health monsters that certain other DPS are, but what was I gonna say? Yes, Jubal's, as we mentioned before, doing a great job at staying alive. It was very telling to me when Bad YT, Nyx, and Dylan were all on top of him, and yet still Jubal's was able to maintain that sort of health pool.
Yeah, and the center of this map does have that high ground, which does opt for him to maybe go up there, take that perch up there, get a little bit of health before he jumps back down. That is a spot that will allow him to find a little bit of safety and can really buy the Reaper if he chooses his TBE up there, which wouldn't really be a wise use of that ability. So a lot of places on this map that he can use as a safe spot, even though it is a little bit more confined.
Hey guys, pause for a second because we can't hear you on the stream. Will, you've got to turn the volume up.
12% and counting here for the side of Glitch. They're continuing to hold the point. Baby Tiger, I noticed was well ahead in moving for that ult charge, and could end up leading to a significant advantage here. As well, Jubal is just racking it up, able to activate Primal in this small little area. We'll see if they're able to do it. The Immortality Field falls as well, and Kata2 dies to Jubal's, trying to take on the monkey, trying to keep them off the backline, but look at the sandwich coming out here. The window does eventually fall here for the side Riff as well, and it might allow them a little bit of extra damage. They might, but Jubal's finds too. The monkey going absolutely insane. K-West is just getting down so low. LOL Reaper picking up 2 as well, and that is going to be Glitch somehow continuing to hold control there.
Yeah, didn't even need to bring out the Primal Rage. I mean, they saved the Primal Rage, they saved the beat. They have both those 2 ults ready for the next team fight. I mean, you know, a really good fight there from Jubal's, although he does go down to the Reaper.
Oh, yeah, that could be absolutely huge pick. Glitch going to be down there, tank just to start this one off, and now you're seeing them, retreating very strongly. They don't want to lose anybody else. They want to buy themselves enough time. The CNA Rush does eventually get used out here, though, as they try to maintain control, but it does eventually get flipped over to Riff. Huge Orisa ult can be finding one, but Zane gets a pick on the Kata2 in the backline, and Dylan does eventually fall with no healing. Quest only has a matter of time before they're going to be eventually crumbling as well, and the point will flip back over to Glitch. Zane finding another 4, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, it was looking pretty good there from Riff at first, you know, able to take down the Lucio, but not able to convert that to a team fight win. Although they did get some percentage on the board, they are not at 0, so at the very least, they're not going down without a fight.
That is absolutely true here. We're going to be seeing the Primal Rage come in. The tire from Nyx going to be loading into the backline, looking for 2, make that 1 LOA for the Mr. Gold. Quest was able to get a nice pick off of the odd nugget. Jubal is now using the Primal Rage just to keep themselves alive as the remaining members of Rift get so low, but despite the near win there, Zane picks up another 2. Overtime is ticking down, and that is going to be Lee Zhang heading Glitch's way. When we here from the side of Zangerman, I mean, are you surprised? The Tracer went absolutely nuts. There's 1 stick. There's a very nice track on a Nyx in the open air. Cleans up Bad YT as well. Not even the most kills I saw from him. So, we're going into map 2 here, and that map 2 is going to be one of our hybrid maps. I also need to pull up the heckin' map pool. There we go. So we got Blizzard World, Kings Row, Midtown, and Hollywood for our selection. Now, we saw what both these teams like to run. Sky, do you have any expert opinion on where we might be heading, what we might be seeing change coming into either one of these maps.
I think Control is one of those maps where you can kind of take advantage of Monkey to be able to like zone off areas and really take control of that map. Monkey's going to be a little bit harder to use on defense. So when you are defending that hybrid point, Monkey's not as useful. You're not able to put that offensive pressure. So we'll basically have to see what Glitch is going to run on that defensive comp and how Riff's going to respond to that. And I think if Riff can get a really strong attack onto that weaker Glitch defense without that Monkey, I think they can break through and win the time advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're exactly right. I think the issue with Monkey on the defense is that they're very much a committal hero. So they go in, they leap, they bubble, they use their cooldowns, and then all of a sudden you lack the ability to really peel. That, or you're sitting and waiting for the enemy to attack you, and then you have to wait until they're already on top of your team in order to really make full use of those abilities. Also, not something that Monkey caters very well to because they don't have a lot of strong ranged options other than the right click, which is more like a feather tickle. I got a map. I didn't quite hear it.
Kings Row.
Kings Row. Kings Row. We love Kings Row. I love Kings Row.
I love Kings Row.
I am so here for Kings Row. What makes Kings Row so great?
I'm not sure what makes it so great. When someone asks me what I like so much about Kings Row, I can't give you an answer. I just like it. I just think it's a really balanced map.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: is there's a healthy mix of choke points. The attackers always have more than one option to go through in every single part of the map. They always have more than one pathway they can take. Typically, you still do go down main because it just offers a healthy mix of sight lines while not keeping you too exposed to enemy fire. And on the defense side, you have a lot of high ground that allows you to maintain those fortifications. We see this particularly on the way to point B in Kings Row, where the defenders have the sort of hut to the tunnel, and they've got the little bridge overpass that looks straight down the straight down the main road from point A. It offers a lot of different variables and variations, and Kings Row is one of the greatest, and I should let you know, has a history of some crazy point threes. Now I'm gonna knock on wood because I don't want to jinx it and have it end too quickly, but both Kings Row point threes are something for the ages.
Yeah, and I think another reason I might like this map so much might be a little bit biased. I do like to play a little bit of soldier, so a lot of nice off angles to play as a soldier, so I could be partially biased, but...
Nah, can't be. I mean, I'm a Ryan player. I don't know why I'd be biased. It's only like the only map he's good on these days.
Yeah.
Until somebody picks, dive, and then I'm just sad because I can't move as quickly. But... gonna be seeing some beautiful Kings Row here. I love the fact that they added night mode maps in Overwatch 2. They look.
And are we seeing the Monkey on defense?
Oh, we have a hydrate. Did you bring water? Did you grab water? Do you have water, Sky? You do have water.
Gotta stay hydrated.
That's 8,000. Excuse me. That's 8,000 channel points, which is absolutely nuts. Thank you for the support and appreciate the water. Yes, Monkey on defense. Thought.
I mean, they had a really strong showing. Jubo's made it very clear that he's comfortable on the Monkey. But we'll just see how it goes in defense. I'm not too certain about it, but they could make it work. If you're comfortable on something, you'll find a way to make it work.
That's why T's on the Bastion. I am low-key think it's dangerous, but look at the damage coming out from Jubilees already. And they have the health and the bubble sustained there to pull themselves back on their support line. The damage is crazy. Look at this. Quest is getting down solo. Nyx is able to pick up Zanjamin, though. That might be one of the first times he's actually died in this. So great job on Riff for that. YT not able to get to pick off the Jubilees, and that is a collapse there from the side of Glitch on the right-hand side. They're pushing into enemy spawn.
Yeah, they are. Do you have that, are bringing out the Alari, though, gonna try to charge up that Captive Sun? You know, that pylon does allow for a lot of passive healing, but the Monkey will be going in there to try to take that down.
Yeah, and there it goes. It does eventually fall. Quite early, in fact. Glitch doing a great job at forcing their opponent to use resources, and Riff, you know, they're trying a lot of different things. They're trying to maintain here, but the damage is just so strong, and I don't really know where it's coming from.
Yeah, I'm not too sure either. I mean, you know, you don't see any of the people.
Apologies. Very, very nice focus fire there on the Jubilees. Finally picking up that troublesome Monkey, and now we have the Captivating Sun doing lots of additional damage there. Very nice peel from inside the Dylan. He finds 2. Dylan, an absolute monster in previous seasons, now playing support when he used to have a really strong ball. And that is going to be Riff taking the first point and looking quite strong once they focus down that Jubilees Monkey.
Yeah, Monkey's gonna try to touch here, but it's just gonna go down instantly.
Zane does find 1, has the recall, has the pulse available, is able to find 2, make that 2. That's gonna be another pick there from the side of Zane. He does it, get picked up by Nyx. Nyx able to pick up 2 as well. That will be Glitch picking up the first point. That was almost a clutch.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw Monkey going in there, I was just trying to think he's trying to buy a little bit more time. Shouldn't have down to Zane coming and just getting 2 like that. I mean, at that point, it really could have tilted the way of Glitch there, and that would have been an insane play to see.
Yeah, I mean, and welcome to King's Row. It's always that. Expect that for every point. As we're going to be seeing, Quest has the Arisa pull here. Can we put it advancing forward? They continue to rush, comes through from the side of Glitch as well. They're going to be giving them a lot of corner pressure, and Jubilees uses that with the Primal Rage to find 1, make that 2. Dylan and Nyx both fall. No support online now from the side of Riff, as that is a beautiful collapse here. Sleepy Tiger's able to pick up 2 as well, and they're going to be pulling around this first they're going to be holding this first corner. Nice and strong.
Yeah, I mean, that Monkey comp seeming to work even on defense. Jubilee's just showing that he's extremely confident with that Monkey, and when you're confident on the tank, it's hard to deal with.
We see Bad YT in the backline, by the way, left all alone, defending themselves, but staying alive, and the rest of Rift does eventually fall. Dylan and Nyx both basically collapse as Zane finds Bad YT. The Samber as well, I guess, to just maintain one of the low members of Glitch comes through. 2 minutes and 45 seconds here on the defense.
Yeah, but both those DPS ults about to be online for the attacking team, and no support ults to deal with them, or really no ults at all. So those are going to get some huge value, probably.
Very nice pulse bomb to start that up. And look at where Glitch is fighting. They are not afraid. Nyx eventually falls as well. And they are looking incredibly stalwart on this second defense.
Yeah, I mean, they're just really shutting down that choke point, really not letting them get through. That choke point can be a nightmare for some teams to get through. You don't have that coordination, you know. Even if you do have the coordination, there's just so much pressure from that tracer in the backlines where it's so hard to get to that choke point.
Now, I knew Zane was a good player, and we've said his name plenty. But they've got, I mean, like, he's got to die. The guy's just insane. He's finding every backline pick along with a little bit of poke from Jubilees. And it's making it incredibly difficult for Rift to get out the door.
Yeah, I mean, throwing a pulse bomb directly into their spawn, really just not letting get out. And, you know, we're going to have to see, you know, maybe a huge value tire coming out here could change the pace of the round from Nyx.
They know Zane is there. If they push him all as one unit, they probably can, you know, scare him away at the very least. Dylan trying to sleep does end up missing it. It looks like Riff is trying to come up with a new strategy. They're going to be pushing out the door. They do eventually anti-Zane, who doesn't want to use that recall too early. The pressure continues coming.
The overclock comes out.
Yep. There's the tire. It could be absolutely nasty. He's able to find LOL Reaper. Odd Nuggets able to find Bad YT in response, though, and Glitch still maintaining the evenness of the fight despite ultimates being used. Glitch eventually finds Sleepy. That's going to be an absolutely massive pick. Jules trying to even it out with that Primal Rage. Odd Nugget eventually falls with a very nice pull from Quest. Jules finds 2, though. The Monkey going absolutely nuts. Absolutely bananas to 2 HP, though. Nice trap there from the side of Nyx post-mortem. And eventually Riff will be able to get around this first corner.
Yeah, and pushing that payload out of the first corner is definitely something you want to do. You know, a lot more space to work with, a lot more different windows and angles you can take to try to take the fight here. So, really relieved, I'm guessing, coming out of that fight, able to take the space and pushing up a little farther now, trying to take a little extra space.
I'm looking for this visor from Odd Nugget. We've got 2 seconds left on the clock. This is going to be the last fight available to them. Super Tiger and Jubile's both finding picks they need in the backline. The pulse bomb is available for Zane. It does eventually get ate by Quest. Quest will continue to hold, and that will be it. Glitch stopping Rift's attack here on the second point.
Yeah, but they did get some good distance, and on King's Row, it's never over till it's over. I've seen teams hold down that first point, not even let a team step past that first choke. So, I mean, anything's really possible here. Just set up a great defense, and I think we can see that from Riff coming out here. They've got the strategy together. They took some time in their spawn to come up with a strategy to overtake the team there, and they did. They did win that fight. They did push the payload through that choke point. So I think if they stick with whatever strategy they worked up there, they can hold this defense.
Yeah, I mean, my first season of Oath, just a little bit of story time. We were in the I believe it was the semifinals. Lowest rated team versus the highest rated went to a draw because the lowest team held against the highest for 4.5 minutes, a single tick on King's Row A in their defense, and it was absolutely mind-boggling. So, again, gonna knock on wood because I don't want to jinx it. Caster cursing is real, but we have seen some crazy stuff out here on King's Row from Oath League. Esports.
Oh, and we see Zanjamin on the Widow, gonna try to get that early pick. We all know that if you get picked off at that first second of King's Row, it's a long run back from spawn.
Yeah. And with the Pharah here too, it could be very nice. Oh! Down to 2 HP. Bad YT will get... Oh, no! Another headshot, Zane! Not swapping off yet. Can still see the heads. Can still see the white in their eyes. Looking for the picks, finds a second one in Catitude as the rest of Riff tries to hide, but now they're down 2 members. Zane.
Yeah, but
go ahead.
They were able to take down the tank though, so we'll have some time to recuperate.
Yeah, Jubal's trying to push forward here. Nyx gets down incredibly low and gets a mid-air headshot from Zane. That is absolutely nutty. The Immortality field as well coming out from the side of Dylan, trying to maintain any sort of health that the rest of Riff has. Catitude is back, trying to maintain any sort of pressure as well, but Bad YT and Catitude will both fall, and that will be Glitch, taking at least 1 tick, probably a first point.
Yeah. Dylan did do a great job, though, getting his Matrix up already at 90%, so we'll have that Matrix going to be dishing a ton of DPS through that choke point there, so might be hard for them to take this point because so much DPS coming out through that amplification field.
Yeah. Quest gets down so low. Holy bananas. I mean, how do you do it? How do you stay alive as Quest? Jubilees finds them as well. I think there's a little bit of a disconnect there, or the pressure coming in from the side of Glitch is just so grand that the support can't really keep up for the side of Riff. As they're going to be pushing through this tunnel here, Zane finds another pick. That Widow has been absolutely instrumental in this attack.
Yeah, I mean, he's just picking off heads like it's nothing. And saving that Widow visor basically, and then she does pop it now. Gonna see where people are. Gonna try to take this last point. And if they do win this fight, that probably will be match.
Very nice shot there from Bad YT, who's now swapped over to the Ashe to sort of try to counteract this Widow. And the Amplification Matrix falls as well, going to be forcing everybody behind corners for the side of Glitch. As Riff still maintains a one-man advantage. Jubiles does get down low. They're trying to isolate them, but they have the continuing rush now available to them. It's going to be more resources throughout this fight. Nick's able to find Team Tiger regardless. Jubiles able to pick up Bad YT in the meantime. Forced to use the Primal Rage to stay alive, but it doesn't matter. This is the last fight. Nick's able to pick up Zane as well, who's now swapped over to that Genji to get to point quicker. Primal Rage still existing. Very nice Arisa ultimate, trying to clear the point for as long as possible as All Nuggets finds kind of two. Quest doing everything in their power to find Jubiles. Eventually does with the help of Dylan as well. The absolute unity between DPS and support coming in from the side of Dylan's attack visor comes through for the side of Odd Nugget, who does use it to clear away Dylan's mortality. But we're at 3.24 meters on the point. Damage still coming through. Pick still trying to find, but Zane does end up picking Dylan off. Odd Nugget's able to pick off Nyx. 2.14 meters available as the sound barrier falls for the side of Glitch. The fight is still going. Baby Bad YT will fall, and that will be King's Row and the series going Glitch's way.
Yeah, I mean, Danny was doing an incredible job on the Baptiste, holding the point really by himself, doing a great job keeping his team up, but eventually does just get overwhelmed there with the sheer power coming out, the Genji swap coming out, dashing in your face, the monkey trying to jump on you. It became a little bit too much for Danny to keep up with, but for a while there was doing a really good job of just keeping his team alive and trying to hold on to that final point.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and from both of these teams, as we see, again, either team has a potential to grow, and you will see as we go throughout this season, the teams that look like they may end up struggling a little bit more later in the season end up coming really close to their competitors. I mean, the grand finals are always super competitive. So it's going to be a mix of how do we go back, what do we change, what do we look at, and how do we formulate a plan to sort of take care of this. Do you have any words of wisdom for the side of Rip as they are going to be looking to see exactly what can happen so that next time they meet Glitch, it might be they might be able to hold their own.
Well, I mean, really, one of the things you said was like, even though a team seems like they're struggling, they may do better in the later in the season. And those teams who often do struggle more at the start have the most room to grow. And you often see like a really big change in their performance, from the start towards the end of the season. If you look at them, you're probably thinking, how are they the same team? And so I think Rift is just going to really, they're going to synergize better once they learn to play together more as a team. They have more experience and time with each other. They're going to be able to make plays for each other without having to communicate as much, and just everything just becomes more fluid.
Yeah, 110%. And I'm just going to say it again. Glitch is an absolute powerhouse. I'm excited to see exactly what they are able to pull out in the rest of the season. Zane, we saw him go absolute bananas. Sleepy Tiger, LOL Reaper, Jubiles, Odd Nugget, none of them are players to take lightly. And so it'll be interesting to see exactly if they're able to maintain that top dog sort of persona as we continue throughout this season. Coming up next, we've got Rush versus Ember. I believe we may end up going into a bit of a BRB because it is only 7:41. We will be doing that, so don't go away. You're gonna be seeing even more great Overwatch. We'll see you in just a minute.
Is Lijiang like the default control map, like just standard?
Yeah.
It's what it always is.
Correct. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Oath Esports. My name is Murph. I'm joined by Sky, and we're going to be bringing you the second set of tonight's matches. This time, it's going to be Rush versus Ember. Two teams with a mix of old and new, and a whole lot of familiar names. I was catching Sky up a little bit, but for those who are new, on the side of Rush, for the veterans, we've got Carnage, we've got Guy Noob, Xbox Bubba, and Funtime Cold. So they're all really seasoned players. They've all played at least one season, which means you know that growth potential is there. Carnage, an absolutely nasty Monster player. Xbox Bubba was one of my favorite Ana players throughout last season. Funtime Cold also plays a really good. Uh, I believe they were also the Ana or Lucia. They could be a sort of flex support. And then Guy Noob likes to play the Junkrat, likes to play the Reaper, likes to play the Soldier. Sieber, somebody who's new. Siebser, I apologize, is somebody who's new. So we're gonna have to see exactly how they fit into the team, but I have no doubt that they're gonna find a comfy home here on the side of Rush. Uh, and then Ember has old names such as Lazy Titan, um, Bad White Tea, and Penguin. Medusa also sounds familiar, but I'm not entirely sure where I've heard that name before. But Lazy Titan, of course, has the classic ball stall. Penguin played a really good main support role last season, and Bad White Tea had some pop off moments as a previous DPS player in last season. So I'm expecting this to be really close as we head into Lijiang here in a minute, and see exactly how these two teams pop off against each other.
Yeah, I really hope to see the Ramacha come out. I just love watching Ramacha gameplay. It's so chaotic, but I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna enter punch mode. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna whack you in the face like Mike Tyson. I'm just gonna.
Hey, I mean, when I was throwing on the tank, that's what I was going for. I'm like, hey, simple enough. I press a button, I throw my fists out, and we'll call it a day.
Yeah, absolutely, and it works, right? You just rushing down the back line. Now we saw a dive last game, and so I'm not sure how much I should expect to see Ramatra. There's not really a
Yeah.
diver. But oh, that's right. We have a secondary hydrate the
Hey,
casters.
get
Thank you so
water.
much. He didn't have water ready. Uh-oh, that's not.
I drank it
I'm
all.
I'm so disappointed. Oh, okay. I can't be disappointed more.
I always have water on standby.
I forgot to breathe. Okay, let me not.
That's that's a slight problem.
It's all right. I figured it out eventually. I remembered. Cool. So, into Lijiang we go, and we don't have a good sense yet of what these two teams are running. I am kind of expecting some sort of rush. Also, Fun Time Cold also played tank. I'm like 90% sure.
Yeah.
Previously, so see if these roles sort of s- swap around ever.
Heard you praising Lazy Titan's ball, and I was hoping to see a ball come out at this point. I know ball can really chaotic with that middle point. You're just circling around the middle, zooming through those hallways. I was hoping to see the ball come out, but unfortunately, no. But maybe we'll see him switch.
I mean, hey, the reason always pops off, you know. Hey, look, hey, we're going brawl, right? Just
We
going,
got the
going on
ram.
brawl. The Carnage Ram as well. Mixed in with that guy new May. I've been expecting to see some gnarly May walls comboed with Bastion turret form and Carnage punches in the face.
Yeah, and I don't know if Genji's gonna have a great time. You know, you're looking into some pretty bulky DPS, you know, in terms of Mei and Bastion. So
Gainu gets down low. The wall used there defensively rather than aggressively. This Pharah could provide some trouble for the side of Rush, as they don't really have too many people that can actually shut that down. Now, Seebser is able to absolutely demolish Lazy Titan, as Gainu was able to finish off the rest of the health. Very nice tracking there as well. Very impressive from the first timer, as Bad YT does eventually fall, and that will be Ember falling back to the wayside as Rush takes the first capture.
yeah, Penguin does go down there, just pushing up into the spawn, trying to take that space, and you know, Bastion gonna be hard for Pharah to get some of that value. You know, Bastion can just zip her out of the air, and we saw that Seepster's tracking was really good in that Pharah on that first team fight.
The damage already coming through so strong here for the side of Rush, as they continue to sort of tunnel in Ember. That wall there as well, splitting the team in half, as Carnage able to find one. Bad YT does eventually fall as well, and this is a really neat strategy, I feel like, coming out from Rush on game one.
Yeah, I mean, you just got that heavy hit, and you got the DPS from Bastion, you got the Maywall to just lock him in, and Carnage on that Ramattra already up with an Annihilation ready to come out, so not going to be a fun time to be on the receiving end of Annihilation.
Yeah, I mean, resources coming in for the side of Ember as well, which slowly but surely, as that is going to be the Bastion barrage as well. Not quite finding anybody, but certainly forcing out some cooldowns. This amplification matrix would have been very nice, except for Carnage doesn't eventually get picked off as well. The wall not quite there in time to play that defensive nature, as that is going to be as well Medusa, I believe, on the alternate account, finding one. Lazy Titan finds another, and that is going to be a point flip there for the side of Ember.
Yeah, I mean, started off with two huge picks over there from the Medusa, and really turned the tide of that fight, getting down the tank, getting down the Lucio, you know, two big people that you want to get off the field.
16% and counting here, as Rush is able to get it to 83, so they really only need to win 1 to 1.5 fights. Carnage going to try not to die here. What a beautiful Arisa ultimate, though. Getting the rest of the remaining members of Rush down so low, as it was comboed with that captivating sun from the backline there of Ember. Bad YT is able to pick up Gainu as well. Fun Time Coach falls. That's 2 for the Pharah, and they're going to continue to hold strong.
Yeah, I mean, saw an amazing lamp come out there from the BAP, you know, able to keep up the tank, you know, nullifying that Arisa ult, but not able to help him survive the Captive Sun, so good use of that combo there. You know, the Captive Sun with the Terra Surge combo can be a really deadly ult if you get caught up in that.
Lazy Titan actually eats the freeze! That's absolutely nuts. That could be exactly what Ember needs in order to continue to control this point. But there's the Amp Matrix going to be fighting one, make that 2. Bad YT gets behind them though, activates the barrage. There's every ultimate on the block being used. Carnage uses it to maintain his health, to pick off one in the name of Penguin. There's going to be a little bit more damage coming in from the side of Medusa, but 90% in counting here. That should be Rush holding on to this. There is still time to touch.
Yeah, we'll get one more fight here. I'm surprised we didn't see Lazy Titan maybe opt to switch to that ball, try to get inside quicker, but he had enough time to get there anyways.
Lazy Titan falls. so does your favorite rat kid on the on the. Oh my goodness, I forgot the character's name, but whatever. CC were able to pick up Penguin, and that is going to be the rest of the members of Ember falling. Rush will take the first point here, but that was intense. Anything you saw there that sort of like stuck out to you team wise? Like,
I mean, at the first point, really good job there coming up from Rush. I mean, taking that space, pushing them up into the spawn. I think, that really made them, the Ember, have to use a lot of their cooldowns to try to take that space back, whereas Rush was just building up their ultimates and getting good ultimate economy. And, it carried over to that final fight where they did have the ult advantage there and able to push Ember off of recapturing that point.
a whole load of ultimates there. Nearly the team fight winning there when Lazy Titan was able to basically eat the blizzard, causing it to not activate, and saving them from that fate, but just not quite enough as Rush was able to maintain. Looking for a nice boop here, that upgraded boop. Not able to find anybody. Very nice teleport forced off there from the side of Guy Noob. Gonna be keeping them alive. Cooldown's forced up at the very least.
Yeah, I think this map is a lot more, this point is a lot more forgiving for the Pharah, a lot more open space to take advantage of, and bridges to get those environmental kills.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. You don't really ever see that often. I don't blame Carnage for going for that push. Lazy Titan saw the opportunity and used it to push off their enemy, and now it's going to be Ember with a clear upper hand at the very beginning of this map. Seebser, I'm going to get that name right. Poking around in the back line is found though by Ember.
Yeah, I mean, they do get that first capture, and they do switch to the Zarya into that Orisa, so Orisa maybe not going to have too much of a great time against that Orisa.
Yeah, the difference being that laser is just able to chew straight through that armor. Nice try with the boost, but the wall climbing abilities of the Lucio serving massively. The immortality field there as well to protect the rest of Rush from that Orisa pull. Seebser in the backline, getting the supports down incredibly low. Is able to find Medusa at least, but Medusa finds two environmental picks with the spin. That's absolutely gnarly. That's exactly what Rush, what Ember needed in order to maintain this. Penguin does get down extremely low, but the DPS pressure is no longer there, and Rush will fall once again. 60% discounting here for the side of Ember as they maintain control.
Yeah, I mean, Lazy Titan's just been going absolutely crazy with the environmental kills. I think that's 3 on this point alone already. I mean, clearly the MVP right now on this map, I would say, those environmental kills are just something really hard to avoid. And, a little bit of paranoia now when you try to cross this bridge, because you don't know when she's going to try it again.
That is absolutely facts. I mean, you can never really be too careful. And that's a beautiful captivating sun as well, fighting too. Look at the pressure coming out from Ember. They're not giving this one up. Even with the swap over to Carnage's Zarya, which we're seeing do really well. Very nice gravitational flux there as well. Trying to pull anyone in, but Medusa finds 2 on that Sojourn. Trying to sort of clean up the rest of Rush, will do so. Overtime is ticking down. The stragglers are coming in. The sound barrier there for the side of Funtime Cold to try to stall it as long as possible, but the ultimates are in play. Funtime Cold gets down to 1 HP. Overtime still being held onto as Carnage swapped over that team with purely for the stall potential. The pylon now deleted as the Medusa has access to that overclock. Finds 1, finds 2. Overtime is ticking down, and that will be 1-1 on Lijiang Tower. We're going to point 3.
Wow, I mean, Ember really stuck with pretty much the same comp they had on that first point, but really showed that they were able to use that comp a little differently. Taking that to 100% to 0, getting those environmental kills off the start of the match really let them take the momentum going into that point. And now we go to the 3rd point.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh. No. They're teasing. I saw it prep a second. Don't get too excited. But really, what would the ball have done here against the May, Bastion, Sigma?
Yeah.
I think the Orisa is a smarter choice.
Yeah. Going into the Bastion and the May, when you get slowed down, you're taking that DPS, you're just not going to be up for long.
look at the speed here being utilized by Funtime Cold to get Rush exactly where they want to be. And the damage already coming through the pylon there as well. The wall does a beautiful job at splitting up Lazy Titan away from the rest of the team. And that's going to be a clean first fight win there for the side of Rush.
Yeah, I mean, that May wall, I must say, was really good. Like, perfectly isolating the tank off and allowing the team to come out. Lazy Titan does switch to the Ramatra, though, to hit through that Sig shield.
Teamster poking in more and more damage. Lazy Titan not being allowed to advance with that pummel form. Nice rock from Carnage. Also a very good Sigma. I know I didn't mention him earlier, but Sigma is one of his signature heroes. Immortality Field's traded out, and so is Pylon. Lazy Titan diving in deep on that Ramatra as well, sort of trading it out, but just so much damage coming from Teamster. I mean, that's 3. That's brutal. And Rush will continue holding.
Yeah, I mean, you know, even when you're blocking there, when you're just running into that Bastion, to just out so much damage that even with that mitigated damage, you're just still not going to get enough healing with that Bastion in your face.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. The Bastion, you have to wait for that turret form to basically be used up, and then the Bastion becomes a lot less of a threat. Still deadly with the assault gun and the grenade. What a flux! Fine for any follow-up through with that. No, they are going to be able to find one. Carnage gets a beautiful ultimate there to clean this one up as Lazy Titan trying to rotate around now on the Zarya, but it's just not going to be enough. 70% in counting here. For the side of Rush, they continue maintaining control. Lazy Titan's able to find one, but will have to fall back or risk dying here in order to get a secondary fight.
Oh, yeah. Lazy Titan opted to jump off the map to not get staggered too much there, which is a very good decision by them.
One more. Oh, nice Bastion ultimate barrage. They're going to be able to find Medusa, actually. That's going to be one member down here for the side of Ember in the last 5 seconds. They're going to be rotating around. They're going to be able to touch. Bad YT goes down as well, though. And Lazy Titan on that ball, going to stall as long as possible. The Ant Matrix with the Bastion turret. So much damage being done. What are you going to do? He has the Kitsune Rush to allow himself to use more of those cooldowns. And when to find one in the name of Xbox Lava, the ball is fighting, the ball is stalling. It's going to buy some time for Medusa to come in and get Funtime Cold. The freeze comes out though. Bad YT in the backline is able to find Seepster. The stall is continuing to happen here as well. And more members are piling in from the side of Ember as they continue to make their way. Carnage is able to find Penguin. The members of Rush do get down extremely low, but it's just too much to stay. Overtime is ticking down, and that will be Li Zhang going Rush's way.
I mean, I know Rush won that round, but I have no words for that ball. I mean, I saw him roll in. I didn't think much of it, but he held on there for like a solid 20 seconds, even managing to get a kill. I mean, I thought Ember could do it. I was convinced.
Welcome to Oath League, my friend. Welcome to Oath League. We're going to be seeing a good play in the game here from the side of Carnage. We saw at the very beginning, able to pick up Bad YT, able to use that rock to just find so much damage, and you saw at the very end there, Lazy Titan coming in with that ball. I told you before, man. I told you. He is absolutely nuts on that ball. Now, it didn't end up converting to a victory for the side of Ember, but that was absolutely nuts and nearly pulled it back to the side of Embers. We're going to be going to the second map here. So we're going to be going into hybrid. I'm curious to see exactly what they go. I know Rush is probably going to be aiming for that King's Row. I'm not so sure Ember is going to feel the same way.
Yeah, you know, Ramatra does, in my opinion, I think Ramatra's a pretty solid pick on King's Row. So, you know, if they are confident with that, maybe they do go ahead and go into it with the Ramatra, but we'll have to figure out what they do pick.
Yeah, and that will have to be the discussion, right? Obviously with the map. Now, excuse me. Apologies. I do want to say I'm seeing a lot of really good things here from the first timers at Oath, from both Medusa and from Seebster. Both have been very, very, very strong whenever it comes to the mechanical abilities. We're going in the Kings. Let's go, Kings!
I love King's Row.
I do too. There's gonna be no shortage of it. I wanna warn you. Kings is a very popular.
And you got no complaints from me.
We had complaints last year, so I'm just I'm forewarning you. I know he was a weirdo. He was a weirdo. Epi, we love you, but I kid. Anyways, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see exactly if Guy Noob. Now this is epic. Uh, it'll be interesting to see if they bring the ball back in because it almost worked.
I hope to see it. In terms of tanks, I don't think there's any more fun tank to watch than a ball going crazy.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, what do you? It's a hamster in a mech suit. What is there to hate? You watch him, get 5, and then you're like, the hamster in the mech suit just got 5. I don't know what to tell you. It's like Overwatch's Iron Man, but it's the Iron Hamster.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to ask me which I'd rather see, a gamer girl in a mech suit getting a 5K with her mech, or a hamster getting a 5K, I'm choosing the hamster.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I would also choose the hamster. I mean, Diva's cool.
Yeah, no hate on Diva. I mean, I'm Korean, she's Korean. Gotta stick with them. But at the end of the day, a hamster's a hamster.
Have you seen oh my goodness, the Hammond highlight where he's got the sunglasses? I mean, I think that's like the coolest thing ever.
I don't think I've.
So now we're gonna be looking at exactly what these two teams are running. Any surprises, really? I like Lazy Titan on the Ramontra. It's something we saw a little bit of him from last season, but it's something he certainly has improved on with time.
Oh, well, I was gonna say nothing surprised me, but now I see Lazy Titan going for the Mauga pick, and that surprises me a little bit.
Oh, that's the thing I was just talking about. Yeah, now on the Mauga. I'm not sure exactly how weak or strong he is. Whenever I last played, he was absolutely busted. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how he fares, especially up against his Bastion. Very nice anti-nade follow through from Lazy Titan, trying to come in and then try to basically isolate that Bastion, but it's not going to happen. Seamster does eventually fall, so it's a one-on-one trade. But resources are spread thin now for the side of Rush, as they're going to be pushing in here. Very beautiful rock there from the side of Carnage to pick up 1, make that 2. The Carnage is Sigma. I mean, Carnage is just good. Carnage is good. I don't know what to say.
And the Mauga is going to be taking a lot of damage from that Bastion, and Mauga does rely a lot on that self-healing to keep himself up, and with that shield coming out from Sigma, really minimizing the amount of healing he's letting Mauga get.
Yeah, I mean, if they can... Carnage has really good shield usage, though. I was going to say, if they can burst down that Sigma shield, it would be less of a threat. But, I mean, look at the pressure coming in. Rush is... or Ember is struggling to get through because of the amount of damage that Rush is continuously able to put on.
Yeah, I do think that the Amalgam might not stick around for too much longer. He has very clear strengths, but he also has very clear weaknesses.
Still, the rotation is coming through, and now look at this. Carnage is already built up the Flux, and is going to be able to find 1 in the backline. The freeze comes through for the side of Ember as well, as they're going to try to find anybody in the backline, but again, not enough follow-up, not enough damage pressure or health available, as Carnage is going to be finding Bad YT again. And now with 2 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock, ultimates are starting to come in for Ember, but even more so for the side of Rush.
Yeah, and I mean, Rush does still have 4 of those ults up, whereas, Ember did commit that Mei ult and didn't get anything out of it. Weren't able to quite push up enough to get the frozen kills.
Sound barrier available here from Frontline Gold. It might be good used well in response. Look at that, very nice wall, gonna actually be cutting off a lot of the continuing Rush. Nice freeze finds 2. Kind of to find your favorite rat kid as Lazy Titan trades up for Seamster. So damage for health. We'll see who comes out on top as the Immortality Field and the Cage combo. That's just rude. Funtime Gold eventually falls. No longer has a sound barrier available to them, as Lazy Titan's going to continue to try to stay alive here. So much damage going their way, though. The whole screen is pink. Bad IT and Pigman there are there for follow-up, though. And finally, this Malcolm pick seems to be finding its purchases, and Ember will eventually find the first take and maybe even the first point.
Yeah, I mean, that cage fight with the Bastion ult really leaves you with nowhere to run. May was able to use the ice block to mitigate some of that damage coming towards her, but overall, great cage fight positioning coming out from Lazy Titan, and all his teammates helping to help him convert that to a team fight win.
If Rush can stop Ember here in the arcway, it's a very dangerous place to be paused as the attackers, and they have the ultimate to do so.
Oh my!
Massive flux. Finds another 4, finds 1, even with the cleanse available to them, Bad YT still goes down. The Ana is all alone, will eventually get picked off as well. The freeze comes through, won't get 8, will pick up 2, and there might be some follow-up through with there, because they're finding 1, finding Carnage. Oh my goodness, Medusa's going absolutely insane. Guide him there to pick up Penguin. This could be a turnaround here, despite everything that was going the way of Ember, and that is going to be it. Rush doing a great, Ember doing a great job of pushing that one through, despite the absolutely nasty flux from Carnage.
Yeah, may have forgotten to knock on the wood there, talking about that point hold, and seems it fell through. But, getting out of that position is a really good thing, because that can be really deadly, as you said, with the Sigma, with his orbs bouncing up those walls, racking up the damage, with the Mail able to lock you in there. So, really good that they want to get out of that chokehold.
And still there are options here for the side of Rush, as they're going to be using that Bastion artillery barrage to try to force out some cooldowns. Not quite able to find anything, but we have the freeze available to them as well, and a continued rush coming in from the side of Ember as more picks come in. I am having a little bit of trouble discerning who is who, but I do see that there is a freeze available for the side of Ember, as they might be able to use that to sort of equalize this fight. Won't be so. Rush is going to maintain control of it.
Yeah. And also with that Ana up again, able to get that Nano, and we'll have to see who she opts to throw it on. But with Cage Fight almost up again, Nano and Cage Fight could be probably a really deadly combo coming from Ember.
It's going to be more damage coming in for the side of for the side of Ember. They're going to be pushing through here. Continued rush, I believe, was used for them as well. Nice cage fight, going to be isolating the rest of the team, but there's a sound barrier there to keep them alive. They were setting for this well, and they eventually melting down that enemy Mauga, and it is going to be Rush maintaining control even with that freeze. Absolutely massive, actually. It's followed through very well from Ember, and they might be able to push this one around the corner. Finds 3, sees Seamster is still there on the Bastion, still a major threat. Will eventually get found out though, and with that's less than a minute on the clock, we're going into point 2 here.
Yeah, I mean, Bad White, he's been doing a great job of converting those fights for his team there, That's 2 fights where he's able to get like 2 kills, 2 final blows onto Rush's members there, and getting some very necessary clutch moments for his team.
Yeah, now we're looking at a minute and a half here on point 3. Now, I did warn you previously that point 3 is one for the defense on this map, and oh my goodness, what an amp matrix. Carnage finding the targets as required. Seamster also trying to corner out some remaining members of Ember. That will be a reset. Medusa gets to pick off the Carnage though. This could be a bit of a how do you say it? A signal.
Yeah, minute left on the clock, and as you said, the notorious point 3 can really go any way, especially once you get to that final little box at the end. So much chaos just unfolds.
Nice freeze coming in there as well. Oh my goodness, absolutely gnarly there for the side of Ember. Oh, but the freeze is returned. No one really there to follow it up there. Nobody really gets caught out. It was a very nice attempt, though. I saw multiple members getting frozen over. Ember continuing putting out the pressure. Despite, we were doubting a little bit the Malka pick, but with that May, I think they're buying themselves enough space to really take advantage of those machine guns.
Yeah, and they will be able to touch here one more from Rush, and Sigma ult almost up again. And if he gets a crazy Sigma ult here, might be able to stall them out.
Well, Seamster is able to pick up Laser Tag with a very nice Bastion turret. Bad YT activates the overclock, but isn't quite able to find anybody, and there is going to be the Flux to pick up the last remaining 2 members. The Cleanse is going to be used as well as the TP, so it is going to be Penguin who is going to be able to get out, but that will be a reset. The
And
ball
here comes
is
the
back.
ball.
And this is very interesting. I mean, the rest of the team is dead, but look at him hiding very well from this Ant Matrix. Not really taking a whole lot of damage. Overtime, oh, it's because Overtime is sticking down. It's back. Overtime is here. Will anybody be able to touch? Following in that impressive stall, there will be one in the name of the Tracer on the side of Ember as they continue pressing forward here. Ultimate's not available for them though as they continue to fall. Overtime is ticking down. Stall is continuing to happen. Overtime is there, and that will be a 3rd-point hold for the side of Rush.
Yeah, it's just a little bit hard to, keep that ball up when you do have that May there slowing him down. It does take a lot of the mobility away from ball that he does offer. And, when you're slowing him with that mail, really just lining it up for Bastion to shut him down.
Yeah, absolutely. A ball is very difficult to play in this composition. I'm surprised Lazy Titan gets much value as they do against the. I mean, we talked about it, right? The ball
Yeah.
into a Sigma May Bastion doesn't sound very smart unless you're Lazy Titan.
Yeah.
and then he knows how to play those quarters so well. I remember talking with Chicken Joe, who I believe was Lazy Titans coach last season, and basically it came down to this: if you want to play the ball, you can't die. And so the entire season, Lazy Titans' entire character and player development was around not dying on ball, and I think that shows up plenty well here this new season.
Yeah. And not seeing any comp changes from either side, both seeming comfortable with their picks going into it. And we'll have to see how that works out for them when they do switch sides. Sigma is, pretty good on defense, able to get a lot of stall time in. Oh, wait, what am I saying? He's on attack.
Still though, that rock can be used very well to sort of stud or isolate one of the defenders.
Yeah, those stuns does give huge value, and when you are communicating with the team and you get that stun down, everyone focuses him. It's really hard to stay alive if you do get stunned and get focused.
Already we see picks coming in from both sides as that is going to be your favorite racket falling to Seamster on that Bastion. Finds 2 that make that 3 from the Bastion. 4 as well even, and that is going to be a team kill very well executed there from the side of Rush as they just use their DPS to full effect.
Yeah, and Ember was not able to capture that 3rd point, so they will have to get a full hold here in order to take this to map 3.
This is absolutely true. They cannot allow Rush to reach the end of point 3 to beat them in their time or their distance.
Yeah, we used the ramp back out.
Bad White team now bringing out the Bastion as well. So it's a little bit of it's the same strategy, different ways to execute. That wall playing massively into lowering Lazy Titan's ability to stay alive, and Seamster is going to be able to take out Bad White T in the process with that May wall that just played such a huge part in this attack.
Yeah, like another almost team kill coming out from Rush here, and as their name says, they're rushing that payload towards the 2nd point already. Gonna have a lot of time left on the clock for that final point.
Yeah, absolutely. 4.5 minutes here. I mean, Rush is not slowing down by any stretch of the imagination. And it is going to be up to Ember to sort of stall that one out. And if I know anything about Ember, and I'm knocking on wood again, I hope you can hear, they're very good in the clutch. Nice bucks coming out from the side of Carnage. We're finding Bad White, but the freeze is nice. Being able to find. Oh, the shield though. Carnage's shield absolutely saving Seamster from the follow through on that end. And trades are still coming in. Carnage getting down, or Lazy Titan getting down extremely low. Activates the menacing aura thingy. I forget names again. Finding 1, maintaining stall, applying pressure, finds 2, doing a great job of staying alive and applying that damage. Will it be enough? What a barrage! Finds 1 more, and that could be it. They could push this one out to stall.
Yeah, and
they do.
Did they capture that 2nd point yet? They did not. No. So that's a huge hold from Ember.
That is nuts. I mean, what an ultimate from Bad YT. Lazy Titan managing to stay alive against 3 other members with
and
that,
your favorite rat kid still able to keep up that Kitsune rush for another fight.
Mm-hmm. There it is, the Matrix combo with Speedster half damage. Holy cow. I mean, that just sounds terrifying, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that machine gun just turns into basically sound like Soldier's plasma rifle, and you don't want to be on the receiving end of that.
No. I would not want that for breakfast.
Yeah, no thanks. I will pass up on that meal.
Yeah. Bastion Amp Matrix is not for kids. Let's put it that way. It's not a fun time. Ember does eventually fall underneath that pressure. But they do have ultimates, like you said, available to them. Your favorite kid does have that continued rush available to them. Carnage has the flux though, and we've seen these get value time and time again. It's gonna get 4 again. It's gonna get 4 again. That's absolutely nothing. Fine. One make that 2. The remaining members of Ember are collapsing as we speak. The continued rushes come out to try to stall this one out, but Guidance able to pick up Medusa as well.
I don't know if Medusa's. I don't think they can get back in time. At least gonna try to touch with the ball.
No, they got it.
No, he's got it. He's got it. The mail comes out, but he missed. No, he doesn't.
What a freeze! The freeze finds 4. That's absolutely gnarly. Kill him. Oh my goodness gracious! How do you clutch that hard? The Lucio is still alive, but he's just like, oh my, Lazy Titan kills him eventually.
I mean,
welcome to
the ball is just ridiculous.
Holy cow.
The ball is just ridiculous, and he's already up to 60% of his ult.
The freeze, dude! The freeze from Medusa was pristine. And you know what set that up? That was set up by Lazy Titan's pilot drive, which meant that nobody from Rush could run away. Rush could not rush. Oh goodness, what a rock there though. Gonna try to isolate Lazy Titan, but we all know he'll survive that. He'll get out of there. Be able to continue to stall. Look at the pressure. And yeah, you're thinking right. He's at the 83%. Now, the remaining members of Ember are getting down low. Bad YT and Penguin both eventually fall. But as long as Lazy Titan lives and he's at the minefield, there is the Samir very smart to try to save that up, to try to stay alive as long as possible up until then. He's going to be dropping this right on the Bastion's head. Could be nice. We'll find one in the name of Funtime Cold. We'll try to bounce the Seed Surf into the mines as well, but the Immortality Field is there to keep him alive. They also have the Amplification Matrix available to them, which could prove absolutely essential to continuing on this attack pressure. Soundbarrier coming in from the side of Ember to basically maintain 2 Seed Surfs on spot, but the Flux is there, waited out the Soundbarrier, able to find 2, perfectly executed from Carnage. And that is going to be it. What a showdown!
Yeah, Lazy Titan not quite able to get away from that one.
Yeah. I mean, are you surprised? I'm not.
If I have one thing to say, both tanks in this game just been absolutely crazy.
Yeah, they go absolutely freaking bananas.
I mean, Carnage didn't have a single flux. That wasn't an absolute banger.
Yeah. No, not even, no miss. I think every single one of them, of like the 4 or 5 we had, were all 4-man.
At least 3 for sure. And then Lazy Titan just coming in on every single round, coming in with like an incredible clutch play, stalling out for his team. I mean, just absolutely high octane tank gameplay.
Yep. Welcome to the esports. Welcome to Oath. That was a perfect example of the craziness I expect to see every week. So if you are just tuning in for the first time, or this is your first season, welcome. You've officially experienced only a portion of the experience, and we hope you continue coming back week after week to support the kids and support the Oath esport as we continue to develop it. Sky, this was your first week with us. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I mean, I had a great time just watching them play. I mean, and to think that these kids, these are all like what 6th to 12th graders, right? And seeing how well they play together, and seeing like how skilled they are, and they've only got room to grow from here. I mean, it's just so much fun to watch, and they're all so incredible, so skilled.
I always say you can feel the child energy, the like hype, the
Yeah.
I want to kill that guy through the screen. And honestly, that's probably why it's more fun to watch Oath games than it is to be professional. I'm just saying. I think we're more entertaining than Overwatch League, but hey,
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
just
sometimes there it's just kind of the same copy paste, it's just going whatever. You're not going to see all the crazy switches that come out. Like, if I go in there, I don't think I'm seeing a ball come out, rolling around, just pile driving everybody like that. I don't think I'm going to see that there.
yeah, 100%, 100%. We love to see it, and they work so well together. We love watching them every week. I will be here next week. I hope. I don't know if you're going to be casting next week, but I hope you'll at least be watching.
I'll definitely be
And
watching.
hell yeah. And to the rest of the parents and supporters of Oath, thank you so much for coming out and supporting these kids. It means the world to them. It means the world to us as we continue to get to show you these amazing games and this amazing experience that is team building through the youth and through esports. And that concludes it for tonight. Some amazing games, and there's only more craziness coming next week.
Yeah, I mean, I just look forward to seeing all the crazy matches.